Number 263 in the Masters of Cinema series is Outside the Law, directed by Todd Browning and starring Lon Chaney. This is a movie about three criminals. We have Dapper Bill, we've got Molly Madder, and we have Black Mike. Now, Molly and her father are going straight at the start of this one, or they're starting to. They are seeing a Chinese philosopher who kind of teaches the teachings of Confucius, and they are learning all the quirky little affirmations to make their life better at the start of this one. I was a little bit worried when it opened up in San Francisco and you seen people playing Asians, but to be honest, it's just a really good setting at the start of this one. And they really open up with some wonderfully energetic music, as well as some nice direction as well. It's not just static cameras, it's moving quite a bit. It feels very fast paced at the start of this one. And we see Black Mike, who is deciding that he has a grudge against Molly and her father, wanting to take them out just because he's called Black Mike. He's a bad guy, and he's played by Lon Chaney. And he decides to set up Molly's father, get him arrested and thrown in jail, hoping that it'll turn her against the law and the right side of things and turn her back into a criminal. And then when she's a criminal, he's going to manipulate her again and frame her for a robbery so that he can get away with all the ill-gotten goods and get his revenge against two people for some reason we don't know. It doesn't matter. The first half hour of this movie is so fast-paced and got so much going on. There's a shootout, there's setups, there's a heist that's really good. There's all these things going on that make it almost overwhelming how busy the film is, but it is exciting and puts you on the edge of the seat. Unfortunately, for the next third, maybe a little bit longer, almost half the movie, we have Molly and Dapper Bill kind of stuck in hiding. The police know they've committed a robbery of this jewel shop. They know they have the jewels. They are just trying to track them down. But so is Black Mike. He wants the money, he wants his revenge, and he is trying to track them down. But we kind of take a detour. We've lost that fast pace and we settle into a more sedate pace as we see Bill and Molly deal with just life almost as if they're in prison, trapped within this apartment room, unable to go out. Bill starts to communicate and have a sort of fledgling relationship with the young boy next door, looking after him, helping him build kites, giving him an insight into what it would be like to be a family man, which he kind of likes. And throughout the course of the movie, they get used to the little kid hanging around. They start to realise what it would be like to have a family, how fulfilling it would be, and they decide to turn their life around, which leads to some wonderful action set pieces and tense moments at the end of this one, as our three characters end up together in some really tight situations. I really liked Outside the Law. You know, from the really fast-paced start to that almost screeching halt about a third of the way into the movie, where you start to learn more about the characters as you take time with them, as you kind of see how they're going on now that they've put themselves in an almost prison, how they're dealing with the thoughts of their life, how being locked away and isolated allows them to look at what they're doing and decide how they want to live their life. We jump back to the Chinese man who's trying to figure out a way to save Molly because he believes that she's got the good in her to turn against this criminal way. I think Lon Chaney really steals the show as Black Mike here. He's got another part in the movie as well, under a little bit of makeup, but I feel as Black Mike has real expressions of poison and just nastiness come through. He's a character who feels very dangerous, and you worry about the main characters whenever he's on show. He isn't a likeable character at all. I love the kind of finale where it gets a little bit tense. You're worried for characters. You feel as if things might not go as you hoped they would. But that kind of adds to the film as well. I was really surprised by Outside the Law. I loved the performances. I loved the way the story was set up. I loved our characters as well, which is a good facet to have. And the direction was just simply sublime. I really enjoyed it, this one. Now, the transfer is a little bit ropey near the end. Some of the film elements were damaged. They've done the best they can. It is a great restoration. It's a 4K restoration, so for most part it looks amazing, and I was really happy with it. This is another one that was pretty much a joy to watch. I would love to know your thoughts on Outside the Law if you've seen it. Let me know in the comment box below your thoughts on this movie, whether you're interested, seen it, loved it, hated it, whatever. Let's have a little conversation about this movie. Up here I've got more content where you can see more of my stuff. Hit the like video if you love silent cinema and the Masters of Cinema series, which would be fantastic to show the support that I have for them as well. And in the description box is a link to the membership program and the Patreon program, where you can help support the channel for as little as 99p a month, which would be fantastic, and I would really appreciate that. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time on Man v Film.